People want change. They want to be different. They want to be able to make sense of themselves. They're on this journey of like, what is my purpose? What is my why? Why do I exist? Why do I do the things that I do? Identity work changes lives. Not everybody is born to be a mathematic, expert. Not everybody is born to be a scientist. Not everybody is born to be an artist. Though all of them are necessary for us to come up with the solutions for the problems we perceive we have. Here at Life by 8, a lot of the work we do is based on identity. And I guess to give you a definition of what identity means, it's the unique sense of self which is built from your experiences, values, beliefs, and relationships. And identity is different to personality. Personality is your persona. They are the mask that you put on and the way in which you show up in different scenarios. Identity is fundamentally your actual sense of self. And so with the I am profile, which is the big piece of work we do as the foundation of Life by 8, is how do you understand who you are versus, and that being based off of your lived self, so the experiences you've had as the human you've had, and how is that lined up or linked to your energetic blueprint or your human design? And that incorporates a whole range of different philosophies and astrological processes. So the human design is the natural self, the way in which your energetic blueprint is aligned to live in this life based off of the time that you were born. Dependent on your own beliefs, that's fine. But in this case, our base is the human design. The lived self is the experiences you've had before you knew this data. And so in that piece, we incorporate things like attachment theory, love languages, your rep systems, so your representational systems, how you learn best, how do you take data in, data being, the experiences, the emotions, the things happening external to yourself. And your energetic rich way, which is the work of Donny Epstein. When you understand these things about you, you can make sense of why life might be going the way that it is for you. And what we do is we help, the profile helps you link the differences between your human design and the lived experience you've had at that point, and how do you get into alignment? So instead of having the human design, you're a generator, a manifesting generator, reflector, whatever it is, you have this information and then it's like, what do I do with it? It's also important to incorporate who you are or what experiences you've had to become who you are today. And so as I spoke about, that identity is how you express yourself. It's the values and beliefs that you have taken on and created and the stories you tell yourself and the relationships you have and the way in which you have them. And this is the magic of, I guess, the work that I do and the work that we do, because when you can understand how an avoidant who's visual might behave or make decisions, and then you can give them processes or you can coach them in ways that meet those needs, that's going to be different and highly more impactful than if you just get every type of person and every experience and every identity to go through the same process. The same process isn't as impactful or as deep as it can be. So we want to understand what's going on for somebody, what is their actual profile, so that you can map the differences between those two identities, the one that's their natural self from when they were born or 88 days before they were born, and then to the lived self, the identity that they've got right now. How do you bring those two together? The way you do that is different for every single person. And the problem we have in the personal development world is we've got this cookie cutter, we've got this program, this box that we expect everybody else to fit into. The reverse of what we're doing is the person is the person and that's their identity. How do we work with that identity with a whole range of processes and experiences and tasking? And how do you actually create a coaching program that's specific to that person? And this is what we do with the I Am profile. This is what we do at Life by 8. And that is why it's going to change and is changing the industry, the profession, because we need people want change. They want to be different. They want to be able to make sense of themselves. They're on this journey of like, what is my purpose? What is my why? Why do I exist? Why do I do the things that I do? And so when you bring together things like NLP, when you bring things together like nervous system work, when you bring things together like Montessori, a way of living, you have this incredible way of seeing life from the first breath to last. And you see the person for who the person is. And that's the thing. Identity work changes lives. But how can you put multiple identities into the same box? That no longer exists. We did that for human evolution when we moved from base level 3 to 4. To go and evolve for the whole of humanity to base level 5, 6, we need to start seeing people for who they are and give them tools for who they are. Not everybody is born to be a mathematic, expert. Not everybody is born to be a scientist. Not everybody is born to be an artist, though all of them are necessary for us to come up with the solutions for the problems we perceive we have. And so how do we get somebody to see their value that is naturally aligned to who they are, that meets their desires, their wants, that puts them in flow? This is how. Their identity is born. Your identity is created from birth. It begins. And so when the education system and the health system and the justice system and the financial system, when all of that is created to meet the individual, instead of creating the individuals to meet the box or that definition, we really truly change the trajectory of the individuals and of all of us collectively. And so whatever follows the words I am is what you are making your identity to be. And for many, many people, whatever follows I am has a negative undertone. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not creative. I'm not lovable. I'm not fit enough, smart enough, all of these things. What about the other things? What about the positive? If you allowed yourself to lean into, I am kind. I am beautiful. I am discerning. I am creative. Whatever it is, for any of it to exist, it means the opposite has to be there. So if you are primarily coming up with the negatives following that I am, it means that the positive has to exist too. So don't stop at 3 or 4. Write I am at the top of a piece of paper and just go and go and go and write for pages and pages of anything that follows I am, because these are all the things that you're making your identity. If you're only getting positive, look for the negative. If you're only getting negative, look for the positive. They both exist. This is how you get to an embodied practice, to really truly seeing yourself, to understanding your identity. Only at that point can you then start to truly change. And only at that point are those changes truly embodied, meaning that you actually fundamentally shift that. It's not just an intellectualized belief. It's not just a toxic positivity. I'm now speaking like this and my world's going to meet that. Because if unconsciously you are still having those negative beliefs and you're just changing your language, it's not just about changing your language. It's about all of it. You have to embody. And to embody requires to look at the light in the dark, to allow yourself to see all of you. Because even if you put your head in the sand and you choose to ignore the shadows are always there, because light can't exist without it. So get a piece of paper, get a notebook, put the words I am at the top of it, and allow yourself to just flow with all of the thoughts without judgment, without filtering. Nobody needs to see what you're doing. Just I am. And know that there's going to be what you may define as good and bad. It's never all bad and it's never all good. So push yourself. See what you come up with. See what is a belief. See see what's your truth. And only then will you have more information, more data to make a more discerning decision on what to do next. So if you've got any questions, get in touch with me. I've got multiple different channels. And let's actually start to bring that identity into alignment. Because of you, I am.